This is the Good Life short presentation by Anthony Reese. This is the separate states of India as part of the Indian region. In India, they practice Buddhism. This region, or the Indian region, would correlate the good life to the purpose of life to end suffering. In order to live a good life, you must give up materialistic things. These are some examples of materialistic things: money, shoes, books, cell phones, backpacks, alcohol. But they're not only limited to these things. They could also be friends, electronics, photos, health, or anything that does not last a lifetime. Because since it does not last a lifetime, it's only going to bring sorrow into your life. Obviously, some of these things do bring joy to people, but the important point is none of them are going to last forever. And the attachment to them is only going to cause more suffering. How Buddhists interpret their own history relating to justice is defined by the Dalai Lama, where it is stated that in everything that we do, there is cause and effect. In our daily lives, the food we eat, the work we undertake, and our relaxation are all a function of our action. What is our action? This is karma. We cannot, therefore, throw up our hands whenever we find ourselves confronted by unavoidable suffering. How I've always perceived karma is you do something bad, and then something bad is going to happen back to you. But how this relates to justice is this is an example of restorative justice. Restorative justice is how our actions affect others. Its definition is a system of criminal justice that focuses on the rehabilitation of offenders through reconciliation with victims and the community at large. So there's the victim on the bottom left, the offender at the bottom right, and then the community at top. Notice that all the circles meet, and then within the circles there's also a triangle. The community safety meets both the victim and the community. The competency development meets both the offender and the community, and the accountability is between the victim and the offender. And then within the very center circle, where everything meets, is restorative justice. Other Buddhist principles that represent restorative justice are compassion and nonviolence. These are built upon respect and compassion for everyone involved when one hurts another, to tend to the victim's emotional needs more than their material needs. An example of this is, yes, you can give someone hundreds of thousands of dollars because someone in their family died. But obviously, that's not going to bring their loved ones back. And obviously, that is not going to give them an explanation why the situation that occurred happened and why it happened to their family. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe they had a hit on their family. You'll never know until the emotional needs of the victim meeting the offender and talking it out is met. India is split into different states, as we saw in the very first slide, and each state has their own police force. They are responsible for maintaining law and order. Many of the police are sent to advanced police training schools, which include the Atlanta Police Department, for an example. This shows that within the police force, they do use a lot of similar tactics that we do. But also, they use a lot of irregular tactics that you don't see us doing, or at least the police officers doing. I read an article about where the police force-fed a thief 40 bananas so that he would excrete a piece of jewelry that he stole and swallowed. Doctors suggested against this and suggested surgery as an alternative. And it amazed me that the police are able to go things that a doctor suggests and then go use laxatives or other techniques such as force feeding bananas in order to gain the goal that they want to achieve. Because of these, I believe that these police seem to have more power and jurisdiction than the police in America. This is because they are able to go and do things that we would not. If we were put in that situation, I believe that we would either put the thief into surgery to remove that object, or we would take them to a proper facility where a doctor or someone qualified would do the techniques necessary to gain that jewelry back, to give it to the rightful owner or the store that it was stolen from. Buddha has had a major impact on this region of the world because he is such a major factor in the beliefs of the people. Although it may not correlate directly to the laws that must be abided by within India, it is reflected in their culture. And the police are part of that culture, as well as the citizens of India and other Buddhist countries. They have the right view, the right mindfulness, right intentions, right speech, right concentration, right effort, right action, as well as the right livelihood. So even though it's not directly shown through laws and through other things, it is shown within their culture that Buddha has had such a major impact. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation.